Hi. First off, I'd like to apologize for the sound of my voice. If it sounds a little off, I woke up this morning, my throat was a little scratchy, and I'd like to apologize if I do sound a little off. That would be why. Um, so, I don't really know if this is going to become a series. I don't really, I don't really know. Um, but we're just gonna talk. No, no props, no triggers. We're just gonna have a talk, right? Um, so I woke up this morning and obviously my throat was bothering me, and I was just like, I really just don't want to do anything. um, in other terms, I was kind of poised to have a really bad day. It kind of was. I could already see it coming. Um, but here I am in front of my camera. I got over that, but that got me thinking. It's okay to have days like that. It's all right to have days where you just don't want to do anything. Now, obviously, if that gets in the way of work, that's a different story. Um, but it's okay. Some days you just wake up and you're just like, I don't want to socialize, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. Um, that's perfectly fine. I've certainly had my fair share of bad days where I'm just like, I don't really want to do anything. um, I've had days where I had to go to work and I didn't want to do anything. Now that's obviously a different story. You got to do that, right? As much as you may not want to. Me being the only jobs I've ever had were retail, it was certainly a lot on me to have to go in and put my smiley face on and deal with the day. But I got it done, much like I'm getting this done. Um, but it's okay to feel like that. It definitely is okay to feel like that. Now, where it becomes an issue, um, and um, I feel like I'm kind of well versed on this topic because this happened to me, where it was when most days you'd wake up and be like, this is not my day. If most days are like that, let's say, for me it was like every day, but let's say if more than half the week is like that, there's a problem there. I would certainly, um, if more than half the week's like that. Now, obviously, everybody's situation is different, but if more than half the week is like that, I would suggest seeking to talk to somebody. It doesn't have to be a psychiatrist. I understand those are expensive, um, and everybody's different. Everybody's got different financial situations. Maybe you can't afford a psychiatrist, but definitely talk to somebody, right? Because there's definitely people out there that want to help you. Um, Now, I've gone a little bit in depth about my life, and I'm not going to get into all that again, but I will talk a little bit about it. When I turned 18 in 2020, which was the year of the beast. um, so I turned 18 in 2020, and at that point, I had my therapist for 11 years. So I had from age 7, I had the same therapist for 11 years. And when I turned 18, she had to drop me because I was an adult at that point. And as you all may know, well, as you all probably definitely know, that year was the year that everybody was sad because it was quarantine. So everybody was looking for a therapist, like everybody was, right? And of course, there were waiting lists out the wazoo. It was bad, and that was a really really hard time in my life. Um, but I still talked to somebody, even though it wasn't somebody. Even though I wanted to talk to a therapist, I knew I couldn't at the time, so I still tried to talk to people. And that's what you should do if most of your days are bad, right? Excuse me. Most days you should, nobody likes to feel sad, right? I don't know where I was going with that last thought, but nobody likes to feel sad, right? Everybody wants to feel happy. There's a bug on my ring light. Oh, I missed him. That bug has been flying around this office for days, and I've been trying to kill him ever since. Sorry, distracted. Anyways, nobody likes to feel sad, right? Nobody likes that feeling. So it's like talking to somebody. Now, I get it. Everybody's different, but usually, talking to somebody helps. Talking to somebody definitely helps. And I was lucky enough to have people to talk to. I definitely didn't feel like it at the time, because when you feel sad or you feel depressed or whatever, it's easy to feel like the whole world's against you and nobody wants to help you, right? It's easy to feel like that, but they're not. People want to help you, whether it be your parents, your grandparents, friends, things like that. I mean, they want to help you, right? So it's definitely people are there. People are there for you. It's sort of like, it's like people want to help you. I'm not exactly well versed enough to help a lot of people. Me personally, I'm not a professional, definitely not. But my hope with these videos is that they help you, right? I mean, that's what I love to do. That's what I love to do. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I mean, come on. Have you seen my videos? I mean, look at my POV Ash breaks in your house to give you ASMR. Did that really help you? I kid. That was a fun video to make. Either way, I guess the moral of the story is that people want to help you, and it's okay to have bad days. Because some days you wake up and you just know, like, this day is going to suck. I felt like that. This morning. But, I mean, I didn't let it get in the way of going about my day. And, because you just gotta, sometimes you just gotta, I mean, especially if you work a job, right? Like, I got in front of this camera right now. On my retail days, I had to go into the store and I had to put my smiley face on. It definitely, and usually if you distract yourself with things like that, like with work, with something like a hobby, for me it's video games, obviously. Usually you kind of forget that you're having a bad day. I know I've had days where I've went into work on days and I'm like, this is gonna take so long. I don't want to do this. I was really sad. I remember days where I would be crying in the dairy cooler because I was so distraught over my day, just like how bad it was. I remember just hiding in the dairy cooler. And I was an assistant dairy frozen manager, so I was obviously allowed in there. But I remember just going there, and I just remember just sitting in the corner and just being like, this sucks, But if you distract yourself with work, my point is, if you distract yourself with work, and you maybe, if not work, a hobby, then that's an easy way to just forget you're having a bad day. Like those days that I was crying in a dairy cooler, if I just like, I need to do this, I would do that. And then I would just kind of, as I would get in the routine of doing whatever I was doing, whether it be stocking the shelves or cleaning out the cooler, I would just forget that I was having a bad day. Now that's not the same for everybody. I get that. But I would just kind of forget that I was having that bad day, and then all of a sudden the day was going by pretty quickly, and before I knew it, it was whatever time I had to leave, and I'm like, all right, time to clock out. So that's one way to deal with it, but another way is just talking to somebody. I mean, talk to people. Talk to your friends, your family. I mean, talk, right? I mean, it's a very good way to feel better. It was like I said, I'm not going to go in depth on my life or anything, but yeah, 2020 was a hard year for me. I think it was a hard year for a lot of us. But we persevered. We made it, right? I mean, I know people that are still on the waiting list for therapy. I mean, it's sad that we're so short on people for that kind of help. But I'm not going to get into all that. If you are on a waiting list, but I mean, my best wishes are with you, really. I mean, like, I hope you get off that waiting list soon. If you are somebody that still on a waiting list, I mean, my thoughts are with you. They really are. Because I know when I was on that waiting list, it was a really difficult time for me. But again, I'm not going to talk about my life anymore. If you want to hear more about my life, I've got the Talking About My Life video. You can go watch that. If you want your dose of your sad, sappy me, you could go watch that video. But this has been good. Yeah. I hope this conversation has made you feel better. If you needed it, or if you learned something from this, we'll call this Life Lessons with Ash. What do you think? Is that a good name? I'm talking to a camera. But I hope that's a good name. I hope you all like it. Don't know if it's going to become a series. I enjoyed this, definitely. But I don't know. I'm not really well versed. I'm a young guy. I'm 21, so I don't really know a ton of life lessons. But I feel like the "it's okay to have bad days" topic, I think I'm well versed in that. So I want to thank you all for watching. And good luck with whatever you need help with. And don't worry, we're here for you. Thanks.